In this series I'll be showing you how to crochet these two frogs, the dancing and diving frog, the lily pads and lilies. For the dancing frog you'll need green cotton or wool, a lighter green or yellow cotton or wool for the middle part of the tummy, and pink or red for the mouth, and you'll also need fine white and black cotton, or you could use tiny felt circles. Now for the head we start with a magic loop. It's as if we're doing a chain, but we pull it loose instead of pulling it tight. And we'll work 3 chain and then 14 double crochet into the loop. A double crochet is yarn around, we go into our circle, grab hold of a loop, yarn around through 2, yarn around through 2. So we need 14 double crochet. Then we take hold of the tail and pull it as tight as we can, and then slip stitch into the 3rd chain. For row 2 we start with 2 chain and we work 1 half double crochet in the same spot. A half double crochet is yarn round, go in, pull up a loop, yarn around and through all our loops. Now we're going to work 2 treble into the next stitch. A treble is yarn round twice into the stitch and get a loop. Yarn round through 2, yarn round through 2, yarn round through 2. We'll do another one into the same spot. Now we'll work 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch we'll work 2 treble. Now we work 2 half double crochet into the following stitch, and then into the next stitch we're going to work 2 double crochet. A double crochet is yarn around into the stitch and pick up a loop, yarn around through 2, yarn around through 2. So 2 of them into the next stitch, and then we're going to work 2 treble into the following stitch. Next 2 double crochet into the next stitch. Now 2 half double crochet, now we're going to do single crochet until we've got 4 stitches left. A single crochet is into the stitch, pull through a loop, yarn around through 2. So I worked 2 of them and I've got 4 left. So next I work 2 half double crochet, 2 double crochet, 2 treble, and 2 double crochet, and then we slip stitch into the second chain, and there's our frog's head. We've got our cheeks and the eyes will go up into there. I'll fasten that off. And I'm going to do the little part for on the face. I'll use the same colour as the face and I'll make a magic loop. I'll start with 3 chain and I'm going to work a join double crochet. So I put my yarn around the hook into the circle and pick up a loop, yarn around and take off 2, then I put my yarn around into the circle and pick up another loop, yarn around, take off 2, and yarn around, and I've got 3 left, so I'll go through all 3, and then I work 3 chain and I slip stitch into the circle, and then I work a single crochet, 3 chain, a join double crochet, 3 chain, a slip stitch into the loop, another single crochet, and then I pull the circle tight and I slip stitch just down the bottom in that first chain there. And then fasten off. So I've got, it's like a little rectangle. Now I'm going to make the mouth. I'm going to use pink today, but you could use red. I'm going to make a magic loop and work 3 chain, and now I'm going to do a 3 double crochet cluster. So yarn around, pick up a loop in the circle, yarn around through 2, yarn around into the circle and pick up another loop, yarn around and through 2. And I've now got 3 loops left on my hook. Then I go yarn around into the circle and pick up another loop, yarn around through 2, and I've got 4 loops left, and I'll go yarn around and through all 4 and then pull tight, and that's the little mouth. I'll finish it off. For the eyes I'm going to use fine cotton, but you could use little felt circles. It would work just the same. Now I've got number 100 crochet cotton and a fine crochet hook. I'm going to make a magic circle and work 4 chain. Now I'm going to do a 4 treble cluster. So I put my yarn around twice and pick up a loop in the circle, yarn around, take off 2 and yarn around, take off 2. I've got 2 left, so yarn around twice again into the circle and pick up another loop, yarn around through 2 and yarn around through 2. I've now got 3 loops left, so I'll put it around twice again, in, pick up another one and yarn around twice through 2, yarn around through 2, and then I do one more of those. And then yarn around and go through all, and then pull it tight, and I've got a little eye. That's the outer eye. I probably should have left enough yarn to stitch it on. For the inner eye, I've just got black sewing thread, and I'm going to make a magic circle and work 3 chain, and I'm going to work 8 double crochet into the loop. And then I pull the loop tight and join with a slip stitch. And I've got a tiny little circle. I'll leave a bit of a tail to use to stitch it on. Now I'll make some more eyes and weave in my endings, and then I'll be back and show you how to put the head together. Now here's all our pieces. The first thing we do is we stitch our mouth on. The mouth's got a little flat section at the top and then a pointy bit just at the bottom. The pointy bit goes down just above the bottom. We've got the 2 eye pieces and the cheeks, and so the mouth goes just in there. So I'll stitch that on. Next, our little face part goes on top of the mouth, but we need space for the eyes at the top. So we need the mouth peeking down and space for the eye. So about there looks good, so I'll stitch that on. Now next we're going to stitch the eyes on. We start with the whites of the eyes, and you position them just above the face part in that circle, little circle thing. And you can kind of squash them down a little bit to stitch them in. I stitch it as close as I can into the face piece. I push it in and stitch. And then for this side I'd kind of push it across a bit to stitch in. You could always use little felt parts pieces for the eyes. That's the white. And the black bit just goes on top, down towards the bottom. So I'll push it in there and stitch it in. There. So I'll put the other two eyes on and I'll come back and show you how to outline the tongue, the mouth. Now I'm just going to outline the mouth like this one. I start at this corner here and just stitch along the top of the face part. Just a few stitches across there, and then I'll go down and round the mouth. I'll just put another stitch along there just so it stands out a bit more. And that's your frog's head done. Now for the body, I'm going to start with my contrasting colour and I'm going to make a magic loop. Into my magic loop, I'm going to work 3 chain and 14 double crochet. Now I take hold of my tail and I pull it as tight as I can, and then slip stitch into the third chain. Now I'm going to fasten that off, and I'm going to join my main colour. Just join it in here. Work 3 chain, and I'm going to work a double crochet into the same place as my chain, and then I'm going to work 2 double crochet into each stitch around. I'm going to crochet in the endings as I go around. So I'll complete this row and I'll come back and show you how to put the arms and legs on. At the end of the row we do a slip stitch into the third chain and then fasten off. And that's our body. Next I'm going to stitch the head to the body. It goes like that. You just have the slightest bit of green showing underneath. I'll stitch that on. I use sewing cotton, I find that easier, but you could use the same thread as you make your article with. I just stitch a row across the bottom here, and then I'll turn it over and secure it at the back. Sorry, my sewing's very awkward. And then I just stitch along the back. So I'll do that and I'll come back and we'll put the arms on. Now we start the arms just a couple of stitches below the joining for the neck. So I'll start in there, attach my thread, and I'm going to work 15 chain. Now into the fourth chain I'm going to work a single crochet. Into the next stitch I'll work a slip stitch, and then into the following a single crochet, and that's the first finger. Now I'm going to work 5 chain, and then into the fourth chain I'll work a single crochet, then a slip stitch into the following chain, and then I'm going to work a slip stitch into this single crochet of the previous finger. So I've got 2 fingers that look like that. Now I've got 1 more finger to make, so I'll do 5 more chain and work a single crochet into the 4th chain, a slip stitch into the following chain, and then a slip stitch into the same place as the last slip stitch from the previous finger. And we've got our 3 fingers. Now we just work single crochet down to the body. And then slip stitch into the body. And there's your first arm. So we fasten that one off. And our second arm will be about 3 stitches down from the neck on the other side. So we work it the same, 15 chain, miss 4 chain and a single crochet into the following chain, a slip stitch in the following stitch, and then a single crochet in the following stitch, 5 chain, miss 4, a single crochet into the 4th, and then a slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the bottom of the last finger, and then 5 chain, a single crochet in the 4th chain, slip stitch into the next stitch, slip stitch into the bottom of the fingers, and then single crochet down to the body. I'll finish this one and then I'll come back and show you how to do the legs. Now the arms are on. First I'm going to start with the back leg, which is this one here. You join your thread to the body, probably 1 stitch off center. So just in there, I'll join. And I'll start with 22 chain. Now the toes are worked the same as the fingers. So into the 4th chain I do a single crochet, Next, a slip stitch and another single crochet into the following chain. Then 5 chain, into the 4th stitch I do a single crochet, a slip stitch into the next chain, and then a slip stitch into the same place as the single crochet from the previous toe, and then 5 chain, single crochet into the 4th chain, and then a slip stitch. And then another slip stitch into the base of the toes. Next I'm going to work 3 double crochet for the feet, into the one into each of the next 3 chain. Now a slip stitch into the base of the same chain as the last double crochet. Now I'm going to work 3 single crochet into one in each of the next 3 chain. I'll now work 3 half double crochet. Half double crochet is yarn around into the chain and pick up a loop, yarn around and through all 3 stitches. Now into the next stitch we're going to work 5 double crochet. That will make the bend in the leg. So 5 double crochet into the 1 stitch. Now into the next 3 stitches we'll work a double crochet in each. And then a treble into any remaining stitches. I've just got the 1 left. A treble, you put your yarn around twice and then around 3 times and take off 2. And then we slip stitch into the body. And that's our leg. It bends across, the other one will come down. So I'll fasten that off. Now for the back leg we just work on chain, we don't join to the body. So we start with 22 chain. I'm going to leave the last couple really loose. After we've done our 22 chain, we do a single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. We do the toes the same as for the other foot, and then we do a slip stitch in the next stitch and then another single crochet in the following stitch. And 5 chain, a single crochet in the 4th stitch from the hook, and a slip stitch and a slip stitch in the base of the previous toe. Sorry. For our next toe we work 5 chain again. A single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, a slip stitch in the next, and then a slip stitch in the base of the other toes. Now for the foot we're going to work a double crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then a slip stitch into the same place as the last double crochet. Now we're going to work a single crochet into the next 3 chain, a half double crochet into the following 3 chain, one double crochet in the next, and then into the next stitch we're going to work 5 double crochet. And then we double crochet along to the last stitch. Into the last stitch we work 4 double crochet, three chain, and slip stitch into the same stitch as the last 4 double crochet, and you've got a nice curve. So we'll fasten that off. And then we've just got to stitch this leg to the rest of the frog. Here's my frog and a leg, and that will sit down once it's ironed. And we just attach this leg across there. It goes across the other leg, the knee just hits near the body and then comes down that way. So I'll stitch that on and I'll come back and show you. Now there's our finished dancing frog. If you like my video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. Bye.